What's good, YouTube? It's your boy Leo coming to you guys today with another video. Coming to you guys today with 6 things that I want to see in Scream 6. So, I'm not going to waste your time. If you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe to the channel. If you're new, hit the post notification bell, all that good stuff. We're trying to get to that 450 mark by the end of this year. We're so close to that milestone, so hopefully you guys can definitely help me out with that. And and as far as my goal for next year, I just hope to get to 10K. I think that's a milestone. It's far out there, but I always been a person that dreams big. If you dream big, you think big, big things happen. So yeah, that's my one of my goals that I want for next year's 10K. So but without further ado, I'm gonna get into it. The first thing on my list that I want at Scream 6, number 5, chase scenes. More chase scenes. I think as far as chase scenes go, we haven't really gotten many chase scenes. Yeah, granted, I feel like over the last few movies we've had at least like maybe that one chase scene, but for the most part, I remember in the earlier days of the earlier Scream movies, we got way more chase scenes, and I feel like over the last few movies that we've gotten, we haven't gotten as many. So I think that's something that I would love to see reintroduced. I think the only times we really got chasings like that was from the original Scream and I believe Scream 2. So I think if you were to look at Scream 6 and look at things that you could possibly want, I think that's something that will probably be on a lot of people's list, or at least not everybody's list, but at least some to a degree. And I think that's something that I would love to see. I would love to see, potentially leading up to some different kills in the movies, we see chase scenes in the process. I think that would kind of make the moment or leading up to the kill more intense, if that makes sense. I think that would definitely make the moment itself for the kill scene more intense because leading up to the kill, it was a chase scene being involved. I love them doing that at the earlier screams in the early Scream 1 and 2. I love seeing that because leading up to the kills, we got to see chase scenes. And I definitely think we haven't really gotten as much over with 3 and 4. And I believe in 3, 4, and 5, I don't think we got that many. I think we maybe had like maybe one or two here and there. But for the overall, Scream 1 and Scream 2 had the majority of the chase scenes happening. So I definitely think now with the new one coming out, I think that's something I would love to see reintroduced for the first time in years. Now up to the next one, I would love to see more development in the characters that we're getting in the new film with Sam, Tara, Chase, and Mindy. I think I would love to see, no, I mean not Chase, Chad. I don't know why I keep saying that every time I refer to him. Like I'll just keep calling him Chase, but Chad. I would love to see more development in these characters to get more invested in these characters. I think when the movie is said and done, we want to say that we were able to get invested in at least half of the characters or the majority of the characters. And I feel like over the last few years, it's been cases where we really couldn't get invested in these characters because they weren't given enough time. And I think this is one of these type of situations where they do this movie. They need to give these characters more time. I know most of the time it's mainly because we've been getting the legacy characters, but in this time around, we really only getting one of the legacy characters. So I think this is a prime opportunity to give these new characters, more time to develop their character over the movie, to get the fans invested in them, to root for them to be killed or not. And that's something that we haven't really gotten as of late. And I hopefully with this time around we do get that. Up next, I would love to see this. More blood, more gore. I think they have definitely amped it up over the last few years. I will say that. Scream 1 was great. Scream 2 and 3, it was hit or miss for the most part. They really didn't deliver as far. It's like they promised a lot, but they really didn't hit on the promises like that. 4 and 5, I definitely will say they amped it up as far as the gore and blood got. And I love it. I think that's what kind of makes the Scream franchise what it is. The blood and the gore. I think that's kind of one of the key factors. So I definitely think if you want to continue that, or at least expand upon that, expand on what we've been getting for 4 and 5, you gotta amp it up just a little bit more. So I think that that one's one I don't really have to say too much about. I think it kind of speaks for itself. So yeah, that is probably my third. Second, I would love to see this one. I would love to see more backstory with Gale. I think this movie should kind of be centered more around Gale because she's the only one of the legacy characters that's pretty much on the film. So I would love to see what she's been to over these last few years. With her losing Dewey in the last film, I know it's crazy. It's still surprisingly shocking to even say, and hurtful to be honest, because he's one of my favorite characters of the Scream franchise. But you know what she's been up to. How has she been coping with the loss of Dewey? How has this been affecting her? How what would her character be like? What would losing Dewey do to her on different levels? Would this just cause her to be in this dark state to where she's kind of like where she doesn't like talking to people, she doesn't want to talk, or she could be kind of like how Dewey was to a degree, where how the characters pretty much looked up to him or pretty much went to him for help or advice. Maybe she's kind of one of those type of characters in this one. I would love to see how what her character is like now. So I think, and not even that what she's been up to, but like in her losing Dewey, but like maybe they give a little bit exposition and reasoning with Dewey. I want to see jump into maybe not too much, but just a little bit what happened between her and Dewey when they were in New York. I remember they even talked about it. I was there for probably about a few months. I couldn't hack it. I went back to Woodsboro. I would like to see what kind of played out to him leaving, calling it off, the relationship and going back to Woodsboro. I want to see what kind of played a factor into him leaving. So maybe they jump into that just a little bit, or maybe give a little glimpse of it. Maybe they even do a little flashback with Dewey or something like that, and how it's affecting her. Some type of nod to Dewey in some type of way, since he was kind of the heart and soul of the legacy characters. I feel like, in my opinion, number one, I think this one is another one I would love to say, and that is literally um a phone call between Gale and Ghostface. I think the closest we've gotten to that was in Scream 2, but what happened is when, Ghostface called Gale, pretty much Randy is the one that, answered the phone call, and that led to his demise. So maybe that was pretty much supposed to have been for Gale, but it just ended up being Randy. Maybe we finally get this. I would love to finally get to see how a confrontation between Gale and Ghostface would be for the new movie, especially with them possibly being, during a phone call or even just a regular interaction. Uh, yeah, and not even that, but like, if I'm not mistaken, comment down below because I might not, maybe I might have to go back and rewatch the movies. But I know Sydney has gotten phone calls, but has Dewey ever gotten a phone call from the Ghostface? I don't think so. As far as I can remember, no. Maybe so. Comment down below. Has Dewey ever gotten a phone call or had a phone call with Ghostface? So, yeah. But that is the end of this video. Like, comment, subscribe to the channel if you are new. Hit the post notification button every time I post a new video. We're on the road to 450 subscribers. Subscribe to the channel. Please help me out. Please help me out with these so I can get to these milestones. So I can bring more content for you guys, because I definitely want to do this. I definitely want to take this more serious. This is something I'm very passionate about. So help me help you by subscribing to the channel. We're trying to get to that 10K mark by the end of the year, and it starts with you. So hit that subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video.